One, two, test one, two. Test one, two, test one. Sparkling Rose Moscato.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Oh, my baby. You taste that? Ooh.
This category is called eating the old way, serving the old way.
Ooh, I can only have one cup of that. That is a mix. What the hell do they put in here? It's without manners. 16%. That's not a lot. Oh. Bitch. Naris, what will you walk for, Naris? What are you walking for, Naris?
Check my technique.
Ooh, that sip got me already. You walking for face? Great. I'm sorry, I am walking for sex siren. You know, something about the chest and the waist. You know, and you just, you know, not the face, just the body, yaddy yaddy. Are the twins on tour, Naris? They haven't gotten a lot of publicity this year. Oh.
Are you ready?
Yes, they've been on a few dates. Yeah, they've been on a few dates. Oh, so they're not fully on tour with them. They're like that they choose when they want to. Mainly European shows. Oh, that visa did not clear. Oh.
Bad bitches. Bad bitches to the left. Could be bad bitches. Or just a little.
Body.
Or just a little.
There goes my category. Body. That was a 26 waist right there. Now it's 21. Okay? I don't care what it is now. That's what it was then. Okay? Oh, clap. I'm clapping, but not with my hands. Oh. All right, let's go ahead and do it, y'all. Let's do it. Live is what we get to. Let's talk about. She needed to do was to stop by Miss Swan, the Asian waxing lady, to get that mustache removed from there. Okay? Get that mustache. That's why you've been the side chick all these decades. She was in that room in that Carnival Cruise, rug licking and bull dyking. She knew. It wasn't like it was a flaccid 6-inch, and then it grows another 6 inches to make it a 12. No, it was a solid rock hard baby. Don't forget this loop. And we're all looking at it like, what? You don't need no loop for that. That slips right the fuck in. Drop a bomb on that. Oh, we are in Mars right now. Look, it's red. We have descended into the pits of, we have our own special place down there. How's everybody doing? It is the beginning of the week, Sunday night. Welcome to the nightcap. My guy at the corner suggested I try this. This is a XXL Sparkling Rose Moscato, 16%. It says here, more flavor, more integrity, without manners. Oh my God. This is how much I took, and I'm already feeling it. Feeling it. If you have stumbled upon my channel, I am Juanki, and welcome to my world. A cornucopia of mess. Okay, of mess. I said, let me pull up on the peoples and say hello, hi at this beginning of the week. Do you feel exhausted already? I feel already drained, and it's the start of the week. Naris21 says, child, pass me a glass. Here, you could have the fucking bottle, okay? Have the bottle, sir. Have the bottle. Welcome. Let your hair down. Naris21, we're just gonna chill. I don't have an agenda. I don't have a script. I'm just here to give the people face, body, yaddy, yaddy, a couple of glasses of champagne, and it is what it is, okay? Now, you said that a famous TikTok had to leave due to his visa. Do you care to elaborate some more on that? I'm not part of the TikTok world, so if you see a page over there, it ain't me, not yet anyway. It's something about the fact that it tracks like your movement on the phone, and there might be spy software in there. And to be quite frank, I don't want to train my mind. Okay, I don't want to train my mind to have a 20-second span. You know what I'm saying? Like I like long form content. I don't like the quickies. I just don't like the quickies. I don't like the quickies. I like to go for long time, very long time. So I don't get the satisfaction from the TikTok. It's just not for me, at least not yet. You know, and the algorithm over there really plays with it. Speaking of algorithm, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube is now rolling out this thing where it gives the reader or the viewer a description of what the fuck you did. Okay. Ooh, I said I was gonna try to not curse, because I'm testing something with this whole new AI thing that they got going on. But for my last video, I want to read you and it's a feature. It's on the experimental. If you look at this video or the previous video, if you go under the description and you hit more or something, there's going to be 3 buttons there. The first button, I think, says ask about this video. And when you click on it, it automatically generates a summary of what the video is about. Not cursing, and I'll send it to you. Okay, great. So this is what the powers that be at the YouTube had to say about my last video, which I thought was, well, let me just read it to you. Okay. It says, this video from Juanki's World covers several topics, primarily focusing on Rico Deante Barber's health issues and past actions, as well as a discussion about Nova Hampton's claim of grape. AI. I think it has to be AI. It has to be AI. This is not a human over there doing this. But so listen to what they said about my last video, right? Here's a breakdown of the key here's a breakdown of the key discussions. All right? Introduction and personal update. The host, Juanki, starts the live stream by greeting viewers, addressing initial audio issues, and sharing personal updates about his appearance and plans for a date night with his husband. He also mentions his family being present in the house. Hello, Nubiology. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here, Newbie. Then after that, it says, Rico Deante Barber's health and past. And then it gives you timestamps. Okay, it gives you timestamps. Miss Newbie, I'm talking about this new feature that YouTube has, and I'm pretty sure it's AI, where it summarizes my video. So it's summarizing what I did last video, Miss Newbie. Hello, Miss View. Nice to see you. Miss View, have you seen the ask about this video feature that they just rolled out? I think they're rolling it out to certain accounts. You probably are going to get it because they tend to give it to like the older accounts first. I have it too. It's a button right underneath the description, you know, the description on your video. The viewer can then hit ask about this video and it'll auto generate a description of the video. So for the last video, oh yes, I actually kind of like it. I actually kind of like it. By the way, Miss View, we are doing a little nightcap. This thing is, she says, I've been nosy reading it. Yes. I'm reading the one they wrote up for the last video. And I thought they had it pretty good. I thought they made me sound legit, and I kind of liked it. But we are having a little nightcap. My guy from the corner suggested I try this, Miss View. It's a sparkling rose Moscato. It's called XXL, extra extra large. Okay, extra extra large. It's 16% volume, and it says more flavor, more integrity without manners. And well, y'all know us and manners around here. Okay, so here we go, right? Miss View, this is what it was saying, right? Let me backtrack real quick from Miss View. It says, the video from Juanki's World covers several topics, primarily focusing on Rico Deontay Barber's health issues and past actions, as well as a discussion about Nova Hampton's claim of rape. Here's a breakdown of the key discussions. All right, and then it has an old timestamp, Miss View. It says, introduction and personal update. The host, Juanki, starts the live stream by greeting viewers, addressing initial audio issues, and sharing personal updates about his appearance and plans for a date night with his husband. He also mentions his family being present in the house. Bullet number 2, Rico Deontay Barber, health and past. And then there's a whole bunch of timestamps, right? A significant portion of the video is dedicated to discussing Rico Deontay Barber. Juanki reacts to Rico allegedly going live during a sexual health examination at a STD clinic. Okay, hold on. I have to go to the next page. STD clinic. He clarifies information about syphilis, including its stages and treatment. Juanki, who states he was a healthcare provider for the community, explains that a positive syphilis test after treatment indicates a reinfection, not a resurgence of the old infection. He also discusses Rico's HPV diagnosis, mentioning the possibility of it being cancerous and the potential need for a colonoscopy bag. Juanki links Rico's health issues to his past as a prostitute. Damn, this AI thing is reading for filth, okay? It says, Juanki links Rico's health issues to his past as a prostitute, specifically mentioning his alleged flex of, hold on, I'm going to the other page, flex of financially abusing white men. And there's a whole bunch of timestamps there, Ms. View. He criticizes Rico for not being humble or apologetic about his situation and suggests Rico might be seeking sympathy or setting the stage for begging. Okay. And then the third bullet, Nova Hampton's rape allegations. Juanki discusses Nova Hampton's claim of being raped in the bushes after meeting a man on Tinder. He highlights inconsistencies in her story, particularly her admissions that the man, and I quote, charmed her out of her panties, end of quote. And her last assertion, and her latest assertion that it was, quote, date rape. Okay, next page, hold on, because I had to screenshot these, okay. Grape. Juanki also discusses Nova's financial situation, her Social Security Administration payments, and the alleged physical assault she experienced from her mother and sister, who supposedly took her money. And then there's timestamps, right? And then the final bullet is, and I love how they close this out, Ms. View, travel plans and personal flex. Juanki shifts to a more positive note, sharing details about an upcoming international trip with his husband, the Incredible Hulk. He expresses excitement about the planning, including obtaining visas, and sees this as his personal flex in contrast to Rico's actions. Drop a mother... Oh, I'm trying not to curse, Ms. View. Drop a bomb on that. I'm trying not to cuss, Miss View, because I think that this AI is really trying to do us Donna. Okay, Miss View, this AI, they're trying to be smart, but I'm trying to be slick. Miss View says, It is better than the transcripts that is pronounced as we would like you things. Yeah, yes, yes. I definitely like things large, Miss View. Absolutely. All right. So what I have for you guys tonight. I finally pulled it up. Miss View, have there been any more updates on the UB2 awards? Question mark. Because I have the site evaluation. I have a small clip, just a little taste of the site that won. Okay, this site, I can tell you already, it's somewhere in either Soho/Chelsea. It's looking like Chelsea to me. And I just want to play some of the delusions that went on. So let me go ahead and switch over. I hope this is the right video.
Is the space. This is what I really want for the UTB Streets Awards.
Listen to this, Miss View. This is what she wants. Look.
And the award goes to
On that F up stage. Look at this. Look at this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That
Thank
shit
you.
crazy.
Oh, I've been just doing my thing on YouTube, and I cannot believe, and we can make this place look really beautiful.
Girl, no,
really
you can't.
elegant.
No, you
Don't
can't.
look
Not on
at
your. Not on
it.
your.
I
Hold
know it's
on,
not-
girl. I let me tell you something. You cannot make on a shoestring budget. You cannot make that space look like anything. I'm telling you. Miss View says delusional. On a shoestring budget, she's going to make this view, and she's gonna be coming for Pastor Holy Whore.
At the art gallery, but this is it. I see the vision. Y'all see this? And the award goes to, you see this? It's already set up. This is a full service space. So this
She says this is already set up. Is she gonna have these awards with that stage like that and them little steps and all these plastic chairs? This is already set up in her eyes. This is already set up, ready to go out the box. Okay, this what she's thinking with that exposed piping up in the ceiling. You see that piping, that red piping? See that red pipe up there? Garbage can right on the girl.
would be where the award ceremony, round tables, linen, cover plates, china, ching ching, not plastic plates like Jay Wilson. No,
Look, drop a bomb on that. Reading as she's doing a site visit. How professional. Let's not forget that the host that's giving her the walkthrough is in the room. He is so embarrassed he goes off the frame. He goes off the frame and tries to hide from her sight line with the phone and the camera. He ain't trying to be visible.
okay. But the projection, yeah. How many of these do you have?
We have one in-house, but we have a vendor that we
Oh, she didn't like the word vendor. She didn't like the word vendor. He said we have one in house. Let me get back to the big screen. He said we got one in house and we have a vendor, and she ain't gonna like the word vendor. Okay, I think that glass is already hitting me. She's not gonna like the word vendor. Okay, she poor plan. She is absolutely fucking delusional. Delulu. Absolutely delulu. Okay? I'm waiting for this to happen, Miss View. I will be there without having to physically be there. Drop a bomb on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, these people will print out all of my pictures and put them at the door. If you see him, don't don't let him. But what they don't know is the many friends that I got. And if she's gonna be doing sit down linen, China, it has to be people passing hors d'oeuvres and a catering company. And baby, we will be in there. I will have a plant in there, Miss View. Okay? All right? I will be in there without having to be in there. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? And she shouldn't have a problem with what I'm doing and how I'm, because I'm just on YouTube. I've been on YouTube just doing my thing. Let's hear it one more time. Just one more time. Just one more time.
Is the space. This is what I really want for the UTB Streets Awards. Look at this. And the award goes to
Miss View is a View.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Look at the guy.
Thank you
Look at the guy
so
running away from the
much.
camera.
Thank you. Oh, I've been just doing my thing on YouTube.
Just doing my thing on YouTube.
I cannot believe, and we can make this place look really beautiful.
Girl,
really
you
elegant.
not on a
Don't look-
shoestring budget. You cannot. You cannot. You need a good 25, 30,000 just on decorating and outside vendors. This does not include the tables and the catering, girl. This is just to create the ambiance, to get some real flowers in there, lighting, cover them pipes, do some rugs on the floor to cover that floor. Get rid of all them chairs. Okay? That you don't have the capital to make this happen. Not in no first year, you don't. I'm telling you, not in the first year, you don't. You know, I want you to succeed, but I also want you to be realistic. I don't want you to be scamming people. I don't. Okay? Miss View says, I should be winning an award dealing with her all of these years. Yes, yes. I need to find a dress. Miss View, get a freakum dress, like Beyonce said. Every girl got one in their closet, right? Right, every girl got one in their closet. A freakum dress for Miss Viewers of You. Oh, Miss View, they will be hating for days. When Miss Viewers of You showed them legs, you know, she showed a two-piece, Naris 21, a couple of years ago, and she walked around the pool, okay? She walked around the pool in a two-piece. And all these women, all these fat, chubby women were mad about it. They had a whole smear campaign on poor Miss View. All she did was eat right and exercise, okay, and push her away from the table, drop a bomb on that. That's all Miss View was doing. That's all she was doing. The Tina Turner legs. There we go. Had a freakum dress with some high heels. Oh, you will. Everybody will be hate. They were all gonna be hating. All right, now Naris 21 says now Party City, they go out of business. She could use their set. Listen, Naris, this is not gonna go anywhere. This is just a scam that Todd set up to come to everybody with the bullshit. Oh howdy, Just Read My Book has walked into the room. Hello, Just Read My Book. How are you doing? What's the tea? How's it going? We had a very interesting and informative live last video. And we missed you. I hope you're doing well. Summer is one more month of summer. What is the baby doing? Is the baby out there auditioning already? Will she be making her way down to New York? Theater season is about to start again now in the fall. You know, she should, she want to try some auditions just for the fun of it, just to get in the groove of things and all of that. Let me, what's your tea? We're just politicking. I'm having here a glass of XXL. And thanks for the cooking videos. Yes, the pasta. And I'll be voting on your polls and stuff. I'll be voting. Let's see. Just remember, it's fantastic. She's on her way in late August. There you go. I'm so happy. When I see like young people getting into business and stuff like that, it is so fulfilling for me, especially our kind. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so like, I did theater now that I'm married, I've kind of I feel like I did my time, you know what I'm saying? Like I did my thing, and I have other ventures and other things going. And it's funny because when I was younger and I would see people and I knew you have friends or whatever, and I always wonder, why would they get out of the business? Like, why would they, But, you get to a point where you're fulfilled to the max that you fulfill, and then something else comes on and you take on all the challenges, like, and you just grow and you kind of grow out of it. I mean, I always will have love for the stage, but I don't know that I'm at the mental space right now or any time moving forward after doing so much and have done so much and be able to support myself, to go back into not an audition room, F the audition, let's say I already got in, but go into a room with potentially directors that, just came out of school, or acting with people who, are just not, I just are younger than me. I'm just gonna say that, both in experience, both in credits, and just in life experience. And so, I think I fulfilled my love for the theater. Once an actor, always an actor. I come out here, give you a show and all that. But I think I'm hanging it up, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm hanging it up. Yes. I couldn't possibly see myself. I couldn't possibly see myself doing the Broadway schedule now that I'm married and we run a business and we travel and I like to just spend my time with Hulk. I couldn't possibly see myself, in the Broadway schedule or off Broadway schedule, which is the same. The Broadway off Broadway schedule is the same thing. It's 8 times a week. Like I just couldn't, 8 times a week, weekends. Only holidays, you're working weekends, you're working holidays. The only day off is on Monday night, or other than that, like, yeah, your shows are at 7:30, 8 o'clock on Saturday, 2 matinees at either 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. But, you got to get into the theater. You got to get into your thing. You don't just show up right 5 minutes before. You got to get there with enough time to warm up, get into costume, get any notes, say hello to people. Because nobody likes, a cast member that just comes in and doesn't interact with other people. You understand what I'm saying? You got changes. You got different people going in. You have an understudy up. You want to be able to go to the dressing room, talk to them, give them a pep talk, encourage them, ask them what they need from you. Tell them what you need from them. Like that type of stuff. That's easily 2.5 hours before showtime. So now we're talking about, let's do a 7:30. For a 7:30 show, I probably need to be in the theater by like 5:30, the latest. That's if that's not a show that's heavy on makeup. If it's something like a Lion King with all that, we're talking 3 hours before, because that's a lot of makeup. And in those shows that it's like extensive for makeup, you're not doing your own makeup. So it's like a line of people that need to get their makeup done. So your time slot to get your stuff on might be 3 hours before curtain. So now you add your travel time, easily another hour from any point in the city to get into the city during rush hour. So we're talking about now you're starting to head to the theater around 2:30 for a 7:30 show. Drop a bomb on that. And so, like, I don't know. I was counting. I was like, how long was I in? I did my theater hardcore, getting my paychecks, paying my bills from it for 20 plus years. 20 plus years nonstop. And some of these shows just read my book that I'm like, y'all want me to do all of that? I'm tired. Like, I'm just looking at them sitting. I'm like, I don't. So, yeah. But just read my book says, I bet directing will be your niche at some point. At this point, maybe directing or writing treatments. Well, I did a whole feature film. Drop a bomb on that. We won the award. We got into 5 international film festivals and 1 here at home in Harlem. Went to Atlanta, did the Dominican International Dominican Film Festival, the Puerto Rican Film Festival, the Media Makers Film Festival. So we did very well, and that was written and directed by yours truly. Yes. Yes. 78 scenes. 78 scenes and a cast of 30, I believe it was. A cast of 30. Well, cast and crew. Responsible for 30 people. And we shot for 3 months. And that came out of the frustration that me and a couple of my producers. I have two other producers. A couple means two. We were having, because they were at that point, at that time, it wasn't as diverse as it is right now. And you know that it is still not as diverse now. But so we weren't getting auditions. It's like there's nothing out there. There's nothing out there. And I remember we were on the number one train, and we were coming from supporting a friend. I know, I'm very proud of you. Thank you. But you know, you do bring a good point, because I do have treatments of other feature films. I wouldn't do shorts. Just read my book, because I didn't do a short to start with, and it was like once I do a whole feature film, all right, that took 2 years to complete, a year to write and shoot, right, and then a year to edit. The first edit, I did not like it. I was like, no, this is not the movie I shot, wrote, and directed. And we had to part ways with that editor, and I got me another editor, and I sat co-chair with the editor. Every clip, every cut, every clip, everything was that. I was that anal about it. And then that was the cut, the final cut that got us into all those festivals. So I do have I do see myself directing, doing another couple of films. I do have a couple of treatments and drafts actually of scripts throughout the year. But the way that the film festival, the feature film came about was we had gone to support a friend in a film festival, right? In a short, actually. And her part was very small, because, you know, that's all we could get, right? It's like small, little bit of scraps when you could find them, and then it's like competition. So we were on the train going back. I think we were going to have some drinks or dinner or something. And it was a couple of us on the train just discussing her performance. She was there too. And we were talking and just frustrated about how there was no work. There was nothing out there. You know, we keep auditioning. We don't get anything. There's nothing really. And somebody, okay, in the group said, why don't you guys just do your own thing? And then one of the girls, who ended up being a producer, she's also in the film, she said, you know what? That's a good idea. I have a camcorder. You know, it's like this big. Maybe we can shoot something on the camcorder. And I was like, you know what? That might be a good idea. And I said, well, if you guys are serious about it, let's discuss. And then, because I come from production and, you know, years and years and years of that, I developed a secret sauce, which I'm not going to disclose, because that's secrets of my trade. And so we started having consistent meetings. I had two other producers, so it was three of us. Everybody came up with a plan, with a storyline. We met several times. We decided on what storyline. I remember this like it was yesterday. This happened like in September. We decided what storyline by vote. We wanted to explore more. The vote was for my storyline. That was in September. By December, I had the first draft. By February, we had a second draft. And we did a table read with actors. I put a whole casting notice and everything. And plus, we have friends. We brought everybody together in some studios here in New York City. We did the readings. We took some notes. I did not ask anybody for their opinion, because that's not how I work. Just read my book, okay? Because if I ask for your opinion, it will be your story. Drop a bomb on that, okay? Okay. The name has been on the marquee since way back then, okay? So I took the feedback, though. I heard when people were laughing, when people were like, all of that. Yes, just read my book. Because you got to develop your own style. And my style is, this is a story that I'm writing, right? This is a story that I'm writing. You know, I'm presenting the story. I want to see your body English. I want to see how you move. I want to see the punchline hit. If you were surprised when you heard certain things, and keep in mind that this was a stage reading of a feature film, a 90-minute feature film. So that in itself is a little different than actually reading a play or stage something, right, on a stage, right? So, but I would take notes from the audience and see and all of that. And then I went back, did my final rewrites. That was the third. Then we started auditioning, and I developed a whole rehearsal schedule for it. And we shot in 3 months, June, July, August. We started rehearsing in April, May. Mind you, the second reading, I know that was in February. So we were on a very fast deadline. And it was an amazing experience. I'm not going to be dramatic and be like, oh, it nearly broke me. Because it did not nearly broke me, but it did cause a lot of stress for some people. You know, just because you're a performer doesn't mean that you could be behind the scenes. I've had experience behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. So it's, you know, on stage. So to me, my transition was easy, but other folks, not so much. So there were some bridges that needed to be bazookaed off, you know. But there was also some good friendships that were built with that. And so we, you know, and then she was like, oh, I have a little camera. You know, if I'm involved, if I'm going to be putting my name on something, get the little camcorder on my face, okay? While we're looking at it, it's this $7,000 camera. Drop a bomb on that, okay? This is what we're looking at, okay? This is the camera that we look, and the battery packs and the lighting system and then you figure out how to, you know, my budget was a super ultra budget. It was like $20,000 for the whole thing, you know, and so, you know, did my research on the camera, and then we started pulling people that we knew. We knew a lighting person, pulled him. He was a student at Hunter College. A master's program, and I strategically went with people who were in school and active students in school, because guess what? Just read my book. All right. He is a film student at Hunter College, right? I knew that in order for him to graduate, he has to have a final project, right? And he's a lighting person. He's going there for lighting. So come do my film, and you can get the film as your final product, right? You don't have to work with the people from Hunter College, because usually that's what they do. These schools, and even in the acting schools and all that, there's always a final project, which is like the final presentation, your final show or showcase or whatever. And then they want to make you work within your own class members and stuff like that. He had it much better, where he was out with a actual independent feature film group, you know? So we got permission from the professor. The professor had to approve the schedule and that it was enough hours and all that. That was a breeze, and he joined. Now, guess what? Right? I in my budget, I had like $800 for a little 3-point lighting system, which I still use to this day. And after that film, I was selling my services with that little 3-point lighting system, and I remember I was living in Washington Heights. I would pack everything up in a big ass North Face, you know, the big one, and I will go to do shoots, and people will pay me $250, $300, $400 a day cash under the table just to set up my lights, turn it on, and let them do whatever they're gonna do, and then take my lights off, put them in my backpack, and go back home with a nice little, you know, cash incentive for just like renting and operating my own system. But he just remember, it says Hunter College is my heart. Hunter, Lehman, and Baruch. Oh yes. I was going to do the executive program at Baruch College. Went really far with the application and all that, but they wanted a lot of money, and I was doing some other stuff, and it worked better without me going to there. But yes, CUNY got it going on. What? So I had him join the group, right? And I had my little 3-point lighting system. But by him being a student at Hunter College, it gave me access to like their lighting system. So then he will come to the shoots and bring even more lighting and the sandbags and everything. Because remember, this was also his final project. So I got even better lighting with him. So a combination of his lighting and my lighting had that covered, you know. All of the actors, we just knew actors from being in the business, so they all wanted to do the project and they loved the script, so we did that. And so, you know, I really enjoyed it. I do see myself doing another one. You know, the thing is, when you're doing an independent feature film or any type of project, you really have to know the people you're working with, because they could really cost you a lot. Like, all it takes is for somebody to be like in the middle of the project, oh, I'm not doing it, or, oh, I just got something else, or, you know, you got to really have people that you know you could trust. And everybody in the film was people that we have worked with in the past and we had a relationship with. So I knew when they were saying, yes, I will be there, they were going to be there. Lateness was not an issue. Call outs last minute was not an issue. I worked around their schedule too, because I was working with people who have jobs and all of that good stuff. I started shooting Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I would shoot Friday, Saturday, Sundays. I don't know, 3-day weekend, Mondays, right? So I built the schedule around that, and then people knew ahead of time so that if they needed to take a day off from work or whatever, it was just, that. So, and then personally for me, for that summer, I spoke to my supervisor and told them that my vacation time, because I used to have crazy vacation time, like 30 days of just vacation plus like 12 days of sick and then the holidays. So I would then tell them I'm going to be taking every Friday and Monday off for X amount of time. And so I will be able to, do it like that. So it was fun times. Just read my book, Fun Times. I showcase a lot of it here on YouTube. Those videos are locked up. Maybe one day I'll flashback one of them. But and then to then travel, like to then you do your film, right, and then you have to submit. So I submitted to like 25, 30 places, and out of 25, 30 places, 5 called back, and we were official selections of 5. And traveling to ATL and being an official selection and being in an actual theater with strangers watching your film, and it was we put so much heart and soul into the film, literally heart and soul into the film. There is a track in the film where you hear a heartbeat. Well, you hear drums, but the drums are modeled after a heartbeat. And it is my heartbeat. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? It is my heartbeat. The sound person was like, okay, they took a stethoscope thing, and they were doing it in a drum machine. And then they put that in there. So, it's a moment in time. It's a moment in time. Let's see. Just remember, it says, teamwork made the dream work. True teamwork. Everyone brings a skill to the table, and you want no backstabbers or tardiness. Every minute counts. It's very hard to pull a team crew together that you feel you can trust. Yes. And that's why, it wasn't just about an audition. Before I had the actors audition, I met with them one-on-one. Everybody got taken out to a Starbucks. Okay. And it was like a month of just meetings. I took a whole month of meetings. And if you were an actor in the film, I met with you one-on-one. We sat down. We had a cup of coffee or tea or whatever. And then we would discuss. I would discuss the schedule. And it was people that I knew and I have seen them in other works. There was a handful of people, I would say, that came off Backstage, the newspaper, that just showed up to the audition. But then we also took the reels and all that, and it was just like a few. But for the majority of the people, like I met with them, and then for the crew too. For the crew, I met with them several times. I saw their work. I went and supported all the works that they were doing. It was like, and it was people that we kind of knew or knew of them, and I did my due diligence. There was one guy had to be dismissed. He also was he wasn't from Hunter College. He was from School of Visual Arts, and he came with a cinematographer. I think he was, they were sword fighting or something. I think that's what he was. And he brought him as his assistant, to help him with the camera and loading up the camera and stuff like that. And all it took, within the first 3 hours of the first day, I was like, he cannot come back. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? I said, I know, I may be ruining your date and stuff like that, but you're not ruining my production. It's $20,000 at that time. It wasn't. I didn't know it was going to be $20,000. That's how much But I was like, no, it's a $7,000 camera. It's people here. I have professional actors here. No, he cannot come back. And you have the conversation with him. I don't want to see him here tomorrow. And that was it. Only one guy. And and he was like, oh, but he's getting this for credit. I said, but he didn't know the goofing around, because he was like just like laughing and like moving around. I probably have it on behind the scenes, because I used to record behind the scenes. I had somebody just recording behind the scenes at all times, so I have a lot of footage. And I just remember we were doing it outside, and he was like joking around with the camera, and I'm like, no, this is not professional. I don't know, absolutely not. He cannot be here. He cannot be here. And so I got him out. I just didn't like the vibe. I didn't like the vibe, so he was out. But I see myself doing another project. I don't know when, but I see myself doing that. Just read my book. I am so like, I'm in my Incredible Hulk era, which I think is gonna become gonna go past the era. It's just gonna be my thing. Like I enjoy spending time with my husband. I enjoy spending time with him. I enjoy traveling. Just read my book. We are, my husband. We went to see his first musical here in New York City was Phantom of the Opera. Okay, and he absolutely loved it. And it's such an interesting juxtaposition because, SAT word. Where's Miss View? I know she will be proud. Juxtaposition. Because, he's an Incredible Hulk, and he is sitting right front and center, right behind the conductor, watching Phantom of the Opera and enjoying it. Okay, so yes. Okay. So he loved it so much. That and then eventually Phantom closed after 30-something years on Broadway. It's been closed for like two or 3 years, right? But he said to me, I would like to see that show again. And I was like, well, it's not on tour. The only place that's still running, it's in the West End. So I think, if you want to see it again. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. And so we're going to be going to go see Phantom soon. Out of the country. Out of the country. Drop a bomb on that. To go see. And that's the thing. I like, I prefer to spend my time, just read my book, with my husband. Or, out and about with my husband, or flying here and there and doing things, than to be in a room with people who are dramatic, people who, may not have the professional. Everybody comes with different skill sets, different levels. People have secret motives. I'm good. I've done this since I was 12 years old. I've done this since I was 12. Like, I'm good. If something comes along the way that makes sense and it's excellent, I'm not gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? And everything works out, then great. But I think I'm through with the chasing. I think I'm through with the chasing of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I have other things that fulfill me at this time. So never say never, because the thing about acting in theater is you always need an old character in a good story. You need that grandpa, you need that grandma, okay? You need that people to create the scene in the background or whatever. That's a place where you could always have a spot in theater, okay? So never say never. But for right now, I'm focusing on other things and enjoying my married life. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. But other than that, yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I'm cool. I'm all right. I hope everybody has a good start of the week. I just wanted to come through real quick and say hello, hi. Get ready for the week. It's Michael Jamore. What was his name? Naris 21. He is escaping my thoughts. Who recently passed in Costa Rica in the river. I didn't know Costa Rica had like dangerous rivers like that. When I went to Costa Rica. Well, then again, when I went to Costa Rica, I went to the beach and I did zip lining. They're big on zip lining. That is where I went 75 miles an hour, like Tarzan, from tree branch to tree branch, zip lining through the jungles of freaking Costa Rica. And then the beach. I didn't go to the river or anything like that. Oh my God, I forgot their name. Michael, what's it, Michael Jamal Warner? Oh my God, how could we forget his name? Well, his show was a long time ago, but yeah, he drowned, right? So that was, it's so young, right? 50, like 52, 53, and leaving kids behind. And I just heard that he was swimming with the daughter. It's just so unfortunate. And then also we heard that Hulk Hogan passed. Well, it is what it. Malcolm, yes, Malcolm. I know it was a Mal. Malcolm, yes. So may God rest his soul. And then we heard that what was his name? Hogan, the racist. Yeah. And the funny thing is, and yes, I said the funny thing is that he happened to pass on the same day of the anniversary of him dropping the N-word. Drop a bomb on that. Look at that. I was perusing social media comments. And the comments were in the black sector. The comments were hilarious to me. Everybody was like, next, and because he was not a very nice man to people who were melanated. Let's just put it that way, okay? Let's just put it that way. Just read my book says, it feels good to enjoy life comfortably without having to wait until you're 70 and hunch over a cane, doesn't it? A lot of people don't experience that kind of freedom. You know what? Just read my book. That speaks so much true in regards to how I feel. I really feel like I've been blessed enough to really experience a lot at my young age. You know what I'm saying? Like I have done a lot when it comes down to work. I have done several different careers and skill sets and traveled so many different places, met so many people. And when I think about the people that I met, unfortunately, my parents really, I realized that as being older, that my parents really, really sheltered me. And there's nothing wrong with sheltering your children because they still gave me morals and values and good experiences and taught me right from wrong. But, having then gone out into the world, experiencing the theater world, college, then professional business setting, I've met a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people, supervised a lot of people, sat with a lot of people, and talked to a lot of people. I like to have conversations. I like to pick people's brains and all of that. And unfortunately, I can unfortunately say that there's a lot of bad people out there. There's a lot of people that are fucked up, like in all sense of the word. There's a lot of people who are so fucked up they don't even know. Oh, I was trying not to curse during this live, but there's so many people that are so effed up they don't even realize that they're effed up. You know what I'm saying? I think I would say I've met more effed up people than good people. And it's just a whole different. And when I think about my family, and that's why I'm so secluded and pulled out. Like I like that it's Hulk and me and my family and Hulk's family, and that's it. Like, call it antisocial or whatever. I've done the work in the room. I've done the brunches every Sunday, and then the bar, and then Monday morning everybody is at their corporate jobs. And to be quite honest, none of those people that were there at the brunches, at the bar, and then we were all texting in the group chat on Monday when we were in corporate settings are here today. Drop a bomb on that. And I mean that in myriads of ways. I mean, they're not here like in my social circle, but I also mean they're not here on earth right now. Okay, their soul has checked out. Okay, that's what I mean. And so by being antisocial and by having my boundaries and my walls put up, I've been able to live a healthy, fulfilled life, right? I've been able to secure a good marriage. When Hulk got with me, Hulk wasn't concerned that I had no elasticity. Drop a bomb on that. You understand what I'm saying? Hulk didn't have to worry about me being ran through because I've never been. You understand what I'm saying? And that's, I carry myself a certain way, and that's is yielded to where I'm at now. Just read my book. Yes, I'm just saying, just read my book. The content creators that walk around here that are, proud to have been or currently are prostitutes. You know them. Let's call a thing, and the thing is a prostitute. Okay, prostitution. The exchange for, and no, absolutely not. I'm not going to take that prostitution as a liberation of, no. Maybe for women, and but for men, no. For gay men, no. That's just a whore. Okay, that's just a whore. That's what that is. It's not a liberation of the no. That's prostitution. It's a whore. Okay. That's a vacuum cleaner. Okay, an endless pit of space. And because they were of prostitution, because of that, now today, in today's day and age, now they have to go get checked out. Now they have a prolapse situation. Now they gotta put the elbows on the table and they gotta come with the little forbs and stuff like that and spread them open. Now they're concerned about, did they send it to Quest Lab Diagnostics, and in 2 weeks we're going to find out what kind of skin graft that was, skin cells that is. Just read my book says, not for women either. That's some straight up no some horrors. It's some wolves in this house and some wolves in this house. If you see them, point them out. If you see them, point them out. That's just slutatious. Slutatious whore. That's what that is. And so I wasn't doing that. And I didn't keep people around me that were doing. That's another thing. Especially in my world, the gay world. If you could be a prude all you want, but if you're keeping a whole bunch of homos around you by association, people are gonna think that they can buy you. And we got people here straight up that say that they were bought and sold as a flex. Just read my book. When did prostitution become a flex? You have to understand. When did prostitution become a flex? And the thing is, you are trying to flex on your years of prostitution, but you're on social services right now because of the results of your prostitution. That's the thing. It's not like you prostituted and became a Kardashian, because that was a prostitution situation, and then just being passed around. All the sisters and daughters being passed around from black men to black men to black men to black men. That's what that is. And the mother's the pimp. They did it successfully. They have what to show for. But you got people here like the radioactive can collector, Rico Deante the Barbers. He said he came from a very affluent family, Okay, they may even be listed in the social registry. For those of you who do not know what the social registry is, it's an official book with a bunch of names. It gets printed out every year. Ridiculous. In that book, it lists the last names of the families, the most wealthy families in the United States. It's called the Social Register. He made it seem like the Barbers were listed in the Social Register. Okay? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm sure they have it online now. It's like, these people, and that you will see the Bill and Melinda Gates in there. You will see the Rockefellers in there. You will see those type of people listed there. And it's just a book that lists their names. That's it. Based on whatever criteria they have. Rico Deante the Barbers made it seem like the Barbers were in the social registry. Affluent and all. You have a grandmother that knew he was prostituting and let him do his thing proudly. You got a mother who couldn't take care, so the grandmother ended up taking care of it. They were in a building without electricity or water, defecating on backs and throwing them out the window. And then it's the, the thing for me is, it's the lack of accountability, the lack of being humble, that they come out here then and they try to, act like they're better than. But you was prostituting. Let me close the green door real quick. You was prostituting. You drove white men's cars. Okay? You took their money. But today, what's today? Sunday, July 27, 8:40 p.m. New York City time. You're on social services. You live in an SRO. Next, you're waiting results from a biopsy. Just read my book. I don't know if you know, but Rico Deante Barber, the Barbers, came out here, live stream a couple of days ago, his visit with a nurse at the STD clinic, where they think that he has something back there. You know, I've been calling it out all this time that it was HPV, but people thought I was reading. No, I could see that it was HPV based on the videos and the pictures that he has, because he has opened up the book for everybody. When he told Bless Walkins to kiss it and bend down and open the concaveness of it all, you could see the HPV situation. And everybody, I remember the highly medicated one told him that he could sue me. He could sue me for defecation of character. Drop a bomb on that. First of all, defecation of character, it's very difficult to prove. You got to have a character to defame. Okay? You got to have a character to defame. And then you need to have certain markers that says it affected you, right? But I digress. Now, fast forward just 3 years later? 3 years later, because he decided to stream his business. He put it on YouTube. So it's public information. And it's public information for public consumption and we can comment on it. Just read my book. He got biopsy. He got a anal pap smear. I don't know if you knew. Just read my book. Man can get that. Gay men get that. If you meet the threshold, such as prostitution, unprotected sex, and HIV. I've been saying this, and people thought I was reading. People thought I was being jealous. Your views, my views, all of that. No, I know about health. I've educated myself about health, and I know that, unfortunately, just like HIV and AIDS walk alongside together, HIV and HPV walk alongside together. They do. And unfortunately, HPV, if left untreated, can develop into cancerous cells. So when the doctors, with the registered nurses, the LPNs, licensed nurse practitioners, right, because they weren't even real doctors, told them to, assume the position, and they looked in there, and they saw what they saw. They said, we have to biopsy this now. Usually when they give you a pap smear, they tell you, just like women, they'll tell you, okay, you're going to have your thing. They're going to look in, and the women come prepared, right? They gave it to him right there. And they told him, what we're going to cut in the inside, and you're not going to feel that, because I guess the nerve endings and all that. But the one in the outside may sting a little. How do we know this? Because it was broadcasted live for strangers in the World Wide Web to listen to. Drop a bomb on that. Okay? So now you have introduced this. The Barber has introduced this as the next set of storylines and video and content. And this is going to be the content. I'm going to take this. See, he took this opportunity to set the stage for his begging that's going to happen, especially now that the holidays were just around the corner. We're less than 6 months from the holidays. So he's going to be begging. There's going to be more social services. I quite honestly don't think it's going to be cancerous. Just because, like I said, HIV and HPV walk alongside together. Okay? Most of the time, this was on live. Oh, yes, just read my book. This was on live. Just read my book. I could even send you the link. Just read my book. I will send you the link so you could watch this. Just read my book. I'm going to send you the link. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to text you the link so you can see this ridiculousness. Who the F goes to a STD appointment And the need for attention, whether it's good, positive, or indifferent. Who the hell goes to a doctor's appointment? Screw the I'll pass. Just read my book says you'll pass. I understand. I'm only having one glass because that 16% just read my book is doing me Donna. And I still gotta be well put together for my husband, and I gotta get up in the morning. I do my morning walk, all of that. So, but yes, just read my book. Are you serious? I can't. Absolutely. Just read my book. The LPN, and then he really gets nervous because she's like, we saw something that may be precancerous. Because he's recording them unbeknownst to them, which is probably breaking some type of, it's its own HIPAA, but they have to be notified that they're being recorded, those healthcare providers. And they were not. It was hidden. The camera was hidden, and she's putting all his business out there, and he's streaming it live. The need for fucking attention. Okay? That's one thing. Then the next thing, just read my book. I'm going to catch you up, and then I'm going to get off of here. What time is it? Okay, 8:45. We're going just until 9 o'clock. Just read my book. So that's the first part. The second part, just read my book. You should really watch my previous video because I give a lot of information. The second part of the video is they have noticed that his syphilis numbers are high. So he comes on live to let us know that, he says that everybody has syphilis, which is not true. Drop a bomb on that. Okay. Just read my book. Is your syphilis numbers okay? Naris 21. As your numbers, have your numbers changed? Because according to Rico Deontay Barber, the barber, okay, everybody has syphilis. This is not true, obviously. So they said that his numbers were high. I don't understand why, so just trying to figure it out. I'll tell you why, just read my book. When your numbers for syphilis after it's been treated for some time begin to increase, it only means one thing. A reinfection. A reinfection. From the prostitution, the swapping of partners, you got reinfected with a new partner with syphilis. You could get syphilis over and over and over. And the way that they can tell is that because once you have it once, every time you test for your STD panel, it will come up as positive. Just read my book says, I didn't know syphilis had numbers. Oh, my Lord. Yes, it does. Just read my book. What happens is somebody gets syphilis, right? There's 3 stages of it. I explained in detail in my last video, so I'm not going to repeat because hopefully you're going to go watch that other one and give me a click and a view. And a thumbs up, please. But long story short, once you're treated, you're going to have the antibodies. So every time they test you, the antibodies portion is going to come out positive because the antibodies will be with you until you are gone. It's never going to be like, okay, you no longer have the antibodies is with you, right? So what they do is there's a measurement that they take. It's a ratio. It's 2 numbers and 2 dots in the middle, a ratio. So it's 1 and then a number. That means for every, I think it's millimeter of blood, or it's a whole reading. For that's the first number. This is how many of the antibodies you got going on. So usually after you get treated, they want that number to be like below 5. So you might have like 1 to 5 or 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or even 1 to 1, right? So your doctor will have that. They have that in your mic chart. They have that in your records. Let's say a year later goes by and you come and you've been licking and sucking and relapping and relicking and resucking, right? All types, right? And then you come in for your testing. Now when they give you that, they already know, okay, positive because you had it already, but what's that number? And if that number says 1 to 15, 1 to 25, that's a new infection. That's a new infection. It doesn't just go up, but it's a new infection. So he was out here telling people they don't know what it is. I guarantee you that when you first tested positive for syphilis, and I venture out to say, given his health background, that he has had syphilis more than once. He took that penicillin shot more than once, okay, to treat it. First of all, when you get that, your name gets sent into the CDC. It gets reported. It gets reported because they keep track of that, because it's a serious thing, right? And they give you the information. They try to see what kind of partners you've had, all of that. There ain't no way in hell that a healthcare provider did not explain to him that. If he got it treated the way that it needed to be treated, which is like 3 shots, a month apart from each other, like it's a constant thing, or every other week or every 2 weeks. It's something very involved. You're at the clinic a lot for that, right? For a period of time. They're talking to you. They want to prevent from you to get it. They want to see who else you was with, and they're monitoring the numbers and all that. Just a lot of misinformation. Just read my book. Says it got to be painful. I can't imagine that. Well, yeah. And I've been said it. That is HPV. Then you got a highly medicated one telling him to sue and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? He got. By his own admission, the facts are there. But you're gonna sue me for saying you have HPV? Okay, as soon as we subpoena them records, them health records, and we'll go to everywhere. We don't even have to physically go into a doctor's office. Everything gets reported to database, especially you who are in social services. Drop a bomb on that. You who have always been on public assistance, no private insurance, private company, no. Everything, all they gotta do is get your name, birthday, social security, subpoena all the fucking records. Everything. From the boil. From the time you went and you thought it had a boil and it was HIV, from there. And we will just examine the whole journey. And it's gonna be there. That he chose to disregard it, to not listen to it, to black it out, to make it something else, like the infection happened from a phone that hit his forehead and just, blood play, I guess, instead of the year before that he was prostituting. Like, Anyway, it's been real. This is the content. You put it on YouTube, didn't you? And some people might say, why does Juanki Pro is always going so hard? Why does he just stop? And I just have to say one thing.
Because I stop when I say I'm going to fucking stop, bitch.
I've been saying I have a response issue. I do. That's one of my character flaws. All characters can be written like Snow White. We got to have a character flaw. And I've been telling you people, I have a response issue. When I get hit and when I get to it, I get to it. And then
Because I stop when I say I'm going to fucking stop, bitch.
Yeah. So with that said, I want to thank everybody who came through. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the live. Thank you for having a drink with me. I hope you have a productive week. Monday. Here we go. Monday. This is the last week of July. And we got one more month of summer. And then it's the fall. I actually like the fall. I like September to Thanksgiving. When it's nice and cool, not too cold. You could wear like a little scarf and you got your little hot chocolate or hot tea latte or something. And you could wear a little hat, not the thick one, but like the pea coat, you know what I'm saying? And maybe some gloves, but like with the fingers cut out so you could still do things and touch things. Like that's like my favorite. That's my favorite. So I can't wait for that. I want to thank everybody who came through. Miss Viewers View, Nurse 21, Just Read My Book, the Helicopters, thank you. And I will see you guys later on this week, okay? I'm keeping my eyes to the street, all right? Peace.